Hey guys, I'm back with another little tutorial. I just wanted to jump on here real quick. My sister is a CNA at a nursing home, and she had seen these on Facebook and asked me if I could make some, if I could come up with a pattern, and make some. She said, the girls and boys that she works with, she said the back of their ears are, really hurting them from having to wear those face masks all the time. And I thought, yes, I will make these. So I came up with a little design and made a couple of them so far. I don't have a face mask, so it's a little hard to know which size exactly works or which yarn to work to make them with. But these are cotton. These 6 right here are cotton, and this one is acrylic. So like with this acrylic one, it's gonna have a lot of stretch, and then these cotton, they kind of do, and they kind of don't. That one does. But anyway, so I'm going to show you guys real quick how I work these up. So you're going to need a 5mm hook. You can use cotton or acrylic yarn. I'm going to stick with my cotton, just a 4-weight, and this is the color Rosemary. You're going to need 2 buttons. I have and I told my sister when she asked me this, I said, that is perfect because I have a ton of buttons. I went to an auction, let's see, 2 years ago maybe, and it was an older woman that had passed away, and they were selling all of her stuff, and she had a bunch of crafting stuff, and I was like, I told the auctioneer, I'll take the whole box. Well, when I got home and started looking through everything, it was filled with buttons. So I told my sister, I said, this is perfect. I can use up all these buttons I have. So get you 2 buttons. We're going to need needle and thread. I'm just using an all-purpose thread. Scissors, needle for weaving in your ends. Let's see. Oh, and I don't use these, but some of you might need to, but a thimble. So anyway, to get started, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 20. So we're going to get a slip knot on our hook. And we're going to start with a chain of 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So the way I came up with this is kind of similar to how I work my that double thick hot pad. You start with your base chain and then you just work around your chain. This is pretty similar to that, except for we're going to work half double crochets instead of singles. All right, so what we're going to do, into the back loop, your little camel humps, into the back loop, we're going to work 3 half double crochet into the 3rd back hump. So I'm going to yarn over, 1, 2, 3, turn, and there's my hump. And with this cotton yarn, it is a little on the tougher, for me anyhow, on the tougher side to try to get into those back humps. So there's 1, 2, and 3. So now we're going to work 1 half double into the back hump all the way, and don't go into your last one. I'll meet you guys back there. I'm going to go ahead and work all of this off camera. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I've made it to the end, and into this last hump we're going to work 4. Well, if I could yarn over. So go into your hump, 1, 2, I'm going to move my tail out of the way, and I'm going to rotate out for the third and the fourth, which it kind of looks like we're working into the top of a single or a different stitch, but it's the same stitch. So we're going to go in there for 3 and 4. Now we're going to work 1/2 double crochet across, which if you look, it kind of looks like we're working onto the top of a single. And with this cotton yarn, it doesn't want to give very much, so it's going to be a little on the tougher side. For me, and it is. So go ahead and keep working your half doubles down your chain. And oops. Like that one didn't want to give. And I'll meet you guys at the end. Alrighty, so I've made it to the end, and I just wanted to make sure you guys know if you look at your chain that you're working down, there is one more chain in there. It's kind of hidden a little. So go ahead and get your half double crochet in there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch to our chain. I'll make sure you guys can see this. If I can find my pointing needle. So if you look, what we had was 2 chains and then our first, second, and third half double. So if you can see, right there is our first chain, and here is our second chain. I'm going to slip stitch through both loops onto that. And don't worry about this little hole right here. We're going to close that up because we need that to be solid for our button. So I'm going to go in one loop, in the other, and slip stitch to close, chain 1, and cut. Okay, so on this end, we still got a little bit of a hole. Pull that tight, and it'll close that hole up. So I'm gonna get my needle, and I'm going to show you guys how I weave in the ends to make sure these, because this is where we're going to put our buttons, so this needs to be solid. So what I'm going to do, get my yarn on my needle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this tail around here. So I'm going to go through and through. Come on. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. And out. Now I'm going to cut that off. Okay, now for this side, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to run this tail around these stitches right here and pull it closed so we don't have this big gap. Load my needle up again. I'm going to do this off camera because I don't know if it's the yarn or my needle's too little, but it's kind of a pain. Yeah, I'm going to do this off camera. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got that loaded. And what I'm going to do, I already did. I shouldn't have done that. So what you're going to have your slip knot and your tail coming from here. So run that through that stitch right there. And now I'm going to go under here. Bring that up. I'm going to go through this. and then around the legs of these. Get out of there. I'm going to go one more time around these. There. It's not closed up that hole at the end. Now I'm just going to go under the legs of this stitch, or these half doubles. Through these, go back this way, and back this way. And done. I'm going to pull tight on it before I cut the tail off, so that way whenever they wear it and it stretches a little bit, that tail's not going to pop out because it's already been stretched with the little ear protector. I'm going to snip this. All right, so we got that done. Now we're going to sew on our buttons. Here and here. So, just before we do this, I may not sew the button on the way everybody else does. It's just how I do it. But what I do is I get this out of the way so it focuses on me. I keep my needle in the top of my little spool here, or, you know, push it into something just to hold on to it. And I'm going to pull out, oh, I don't know. Let me measure this. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'd say pull out about 3 feet of thread. I'm going to cut this off. See if I can do this on camera. I'm going to thread my needle. I did it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take the 2 ends of my thread, holding them together, and I'm going to come down a little bit. And I want this much tail. Fuzzy, quit. He's dumping his water. I want this much tail after my knot because this is what I'm going to use to secure my knots and stuff. So making sure my 2 ends are relatively the same length, I'm going to tie a knot right here and let it go. So now I'm going to hold that knot and, you know, tie again, but I'm not going to let go of the knot because whenever I pull tight, the cross right, I don't know what you want to call that, but the cross right here is going to go through my fingers and stop, well, supposed to stop on on the knot, the first knot I had. So it's going to be a big clump of knots. There, that one did. So I'm going to do that a couple more times. One more. Pull it down. So there's my knot. Take my needle. I'm probably going to stab myself because I do it every time I make one. So what I do is I keep, like, I don't want my button to move. So I keep this. I'm going to have to change how I film this. Hold on just a second. Okay, so I had to move some stuff around to show you guys how I sew on my buttons because I don't want my buttons to move while I'm doing it. So I have my button and I set it on the end and I slide it off the edge of my desk a little, and then I come from the bottom and find that first hole, which of course on camera is a little hard. There. Okay. So I'm going to come up, and I'm not going to pull real tight because I don't want that knot to come through my yarn. Now I'm going to go down. And pull. Now if you have a little straggler like that, take both of the strands that are on your needle and pull one of them. It'll come down. I'm going to come back up. Trying to make sure you keep your tail out of the way. Go back down. Okay, so now it's a little secure and the button's not going to go anywhere. So now I can pick it up and I'm going to run my tail right here down the piece and it's going to kind of stick there. Okay, so now I can pick it up and sew like normal. So it sometimes it does get a little hard to get that needle to go through. I'll show you what I did right there. I hope you guys can see. Ow, I just stabbed myself. I hope you guys can see since I'm not on my white background. But what I do when it gets hard like that is I just turn it over, set my needle down, and then just push it down. So I'm going to keep running this back and forth, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back, and I've ran that back and forth several times. So now, you want to make sure you have enough left so we can tie a knot back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip this, poke that back into the top of my, oops, sorry, bumped the camera, back into the top of my spool. And now what I'm going to do is take that tail we set aside and my my thread I just cut, and I'm just going to tie it like a big knot in the back. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other end. I'm not going to do that on camera. I'm going to let you guys do that. But I didn't realize that, you know, nurses are having to go through. Snip that, and there you go. Ta-da. But I didn't realize nurses were having such a problem with, you know, having to wear these face masks all the time until my sister had talked to me about it. And I was like, wow, I never thought about it. I feel bad for them, you know. So I'm going to work up a bunch of these. I'll post a picture on my Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and show you guys how many I make up and give to my sister to give, you know, to the nurses. And then I'm gonna have her take a picture of the nurses that she works with and the CNAs that she works with, and take a picture wearing them, and I'm gonna post them on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that. Oops. But anyhow, if you guys want, you know, live close to any nursing homes or assisted living facilities or even hospitals, I guarantee you those nurses would be so grateful that if you guys made up a bunch of these and give them out. But I hope you have a great day. Stay safe out there. Check out my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and my Etsy in the description box. Hit that like button, subscribe to me, click the notification bell, and then after you click the notification bell, it's going to give you a little drop-down box or a dialog box that's going to ask you what kind of notifications you want. Click all, and that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.